Good everybody. I'm just giving you a quick demo of some of the features I was talking about in our meeting the other day, just in terms of what I think an intelligent client can do out in the field and how it can link to all of, well, a lot of our existing systems and use that data to make data capture easier, quicker and more accurate in the field, as well as allowing us to make better informed decisions in some cases moving forward with other systems. So I'll just jump into the actual app itself here. You can see it's incident reports here, so it comes up with a list. Basically this would be my running list of incidents in the field, so just for me as a group leader. I wouldn't be able to see anybody else's. This would come to me blank at the start of a program, and I would simply use this button up here to create a new one each time. As you can see, there is a list there. Just there they have little red icons that say they're not validated yet, so they're not ready to go up to the system. As I was saying, one of the things, the features I think is important is the flexibility to just enter data as you find it, as people and information becomes available, and then to potentially at another stage check the validation of that before it's sent back to the back-end systems. I think another important thing is to make it easy for the people in the field to enter the information. So one of the things here is if I'm actually inside a record now, if I create a new one, it will bring all the default information that was in that previous record through and enter it in into the new record, which means that I'm still the group leader. I still have the same program coordinator. I'm still working on the same program, and a lot of that information, the staff and other people that are with me are kept. So I can just do that now. Yep, making it a bit hard here. There we go. So now you can see that it actually brings up that job code that I was working on there. Now I have full range to actually change that job code, either if I get changed halfway through the week or something else happens, or this is the first record that I'm entering. So 20222, let's just enter that one in, tap somewhere else. And now you can see that it's instantly just grabbed the fact that this is now Caulfield Grammar School 10 on the Mitchell. So there's a very quick indicator for me to know if I've entered information incorrectly. I said on a device like this, 8-inch tablet or something small like that, it's quite easy to press the wrong key, and to get one digit wrong simply means that the job code will never link up to the intended job code. But now you can see here grouping information so that it makes sense to people in the field as well. So I've grouped on a number of different things here. This one here says the people. So who are the people involved in this incident? So quite quickly I can come to this page and any person that's involved in this incident will be listed here. So the patient up here, this is about the group. So who's the group leader, the support staff, and information about the group, and then witnesses and my own signature down here as well. Moving on, you have details about the incident itself. So again, modelled on the incident form that we currently have, brings us straight into the injury or illness itself, and I can just quickly select that. So that's an injury here, and then I just 2 clicks to select it's frostbite, and I can select others down the bottom if I need to. And again, we could potentially build intelligence into these so that certain combinations are allowed or disallowed. One click over it now to the anatomy, so that I can see and capture where that incident happened on the student or participant. So I can select lower back or knee in there, and also a few others down here. Now over to the activity itself. So I can again just select from any of the activities straight away, and I can now enter what I think is the contributing factor into there. If I make any mistakes, I simply am just one click away from each of those things. Up here, the severity, again, 1 to 5. Just to the side there, I'll just move this a bit. Just to the side there, you see I can have inbuilt help system so that if people don't quite understand what the severity is, they could just simply press a button like that and have it pop up with a little box saying, actually, this is how the severity... Apologies for the ABC News. This is how the severities work, and listing the different factors that identify between a severity 1, severity 2, severity 3, and so on. Again, smarts can be built into the fact when I select injury, it's only going to allow me to select certain things as opposed to illness or behavioural. The narrative, just a big lot of blank text, put it on a page by itself. It does also have this supporting information down here where I can capture things like audio. So if I did this now and press start, I'm actually capturing the audio of this conversation right now. So if I'm in the field and I don't really feel like typing out a bunch of stuff because it's snowing on me, I can simply just record everything that's going on, save it and type it in again later. That's just saved as an audio file on device. Again, with the treatment, what did we actually do to the person, the patient? So did we take them away from camp? Did they return? And these kinds of things can have smarts put in. If they return now, I'll just press a now button and just get that date that it is now straight in there already. No need to kind of bother around with data entry of those kinds of things. Similar to systems we've seen before is linking directly into medications and dressings from our first aid stock. Here, just a simple plus button automatically enters the date and time for me, which I can of course change. Then linking in, as we've seen before, I can choose things, entering in the quantities of items, and capturing a reason for that as well, as we do now, which then is stored by job code and person. So then you can actually get that restock back to a person, and also ops can use it as a shopping list at the back end as well. Location here, focusing on a bit more than just a text box saying location. So potential here as well to link to a venue management system, where if I know from here that I'm on the Mitchell, potentially I can have a drop down here of places where campsites, staging areas, known locations along the Mitchell that will just enable me to narrow down and reduce errors of data capture in the field. Again, you can type in anything you want there. It's free-form text, but having those other locations for places like centres, where you're camping in cabins or very high-use areas, being able to just capture that without any typos is a great thing as well. Moving down the track, devices will come out that have GPSs in them, and I think being able to just grab the latitude and longitude from the device itself is quite a good feature. And again, just it's your standard kind of temperature and environmental stuff that's going on there as well. Now, as I said, one of the things of this is ease of access. So if I need to change any of this information, it's simply 2 clicks away. I think that's vital in designing the user experience, that kind of stuff is taken into consideration, and that the information fits easily on a page without a lot of scrolling, so that it's just big fingers can easily type. I said validation with our existing data up here. So we're looking at places here. So we're looking at linking into Athena. We're linking into other systems that aren't actually developed yet. So linking into, excuse me, medication resourcing operation systems, and also linking into venue systems that are at the moment in their infancy, but the information is being captured. So linking into offline venue systems as well. Potentially even down the track, if you're looking at people, potentially, if we have group lists that are on the device, then we can maybe grab names out. If I type in group number 1, then that may link into there, but all dependent on privacy and whether those systems actually are developed or not. I said definite is that the signatures are needed to be captured. So I can just sign anything in there. And I think that's a given that's essential in the field. And how I've implemented the validation here is simply coming over to an area and saying, now I actually want to check and prepare this for submission. And there's a million different ways to do validation. With this one, I thought down here just is a list of things that are wrong with the people, incident, narrative, treatment and location, just dividing them up into those areas and giving you like a little task list to check off before you can submit it. There are many other ways to go about it. Basically then, as you go back out, and I actually enter some person's name in here, I'll just do some fake name, enter a date of birth in there, select 96, let's say they're a male, like that, and we go back out to the list. You can now see that I've got this person had frostbite on their knee. This button up here, at the moment it is actually working and live, so it will sync those records back into the database sitting inside the network, and they'll be instantly available for any workflow or anything else that needs to happen for those records back in the office. So, for example, potentially on another device at the debrief is the program coordinator, then, or the course coordinator, sitting there and syncing all of those incident reports from everybody onto their device for a check. That may be how the workflow works, or potentially just skipping that step and they go directly to the data entry clerk, who then just vets them and saves them as PDF for archiving. Again, with the information, because the system is validating it, there is little to do in the way of just reading the narrative and then passing that by risk to look at the severity levels and the nature of the narrative itself. That's about all I want to show with that, is just the kind of ease of use and dynamic backwards and forwards flow of the information, and how that can really, everything's going off, can really assist the person in the field to gather data quickly and effectively by building the business rules into the device and allowing and having OEG systems information on the device itself to make it so that you can ascertain more details about jobs, locations, and people and resources. So that's all I want to show there. I'll send this through onto SharePoint, and I'll send through some other documents as well. All right, thank you.